Why are you not fulfilled? What is the nature of fulfillment and what prevents us from being fulfilled and happy? Hi, my name is Nane and I want to share with you about this topic, my own thoughts, as well as what I've learned through my deep interest and study of yoga, nature of the humans, nature of the universe, and consciousness. So to understand what is fulfillment, we first need to understand what is the nature of our mind. The nature of the mind is to always want more. More of this, more of that. It might seem that we are greedy because we constantly want more and more and more, but you can never avoid it because it is our nature. And whatever it is that we want, whether it's a new car, new house, or a dress, whatever it is that we're looking for, underlying reason can be that we want more love, we want more knowledge, more experience, happiness, and we want more power, depending on what you're interested in. That's why people who have the most power in the world are actually the most unhappy and unfulfilled people because they're constantly looking for more and more and more, and they can't find fulfillment no matter how much power they get. So they want more power, and once they get it, they want more and more. But it's also important to know that it doesn't make us greedy and it doesn't make us bad people because it is our true nature and it is actually a good and helpful thing, and we will talk about it just in a little bit. But it is the nature of our mind to want more and to grow. Well, we're always looking for more on the outside, in the relative world. By saying relative world, we mean the material world, the changing world where we are living. Everything around you, whatever you see, even your own body, is part of that relative world. We are usually looking for more from the outside. Through our senses, we want to see more beautiful things, we want to hear beautiful music, we want to taste tasty food, to smell good smells, feel touch of our loved ones. So in that way, we're looking for more and more and more constantly. And that can help us to understand our patterns, our habits. For example, when we overeat, the reason for it is that we're looking for more of that pleasure that we get out of food, because when we eat, it's pleasant and we want more and more of that. And consciously, we understand that eating more is not going to make us happier, or it's not going to make us fulfilled for sure. But subconsciously, we're trying to find more and more of that pleasure and find that fulfillment through that. And like that, you can journal about or think about your own patterns, whatever you're doing that you know consciously that it's not really good and helpful for you. But on the other hand, you keep doing it because underlying might be the search for more and the search for fulfillment and happiness. And so that way, to find fulfillment, we're looking on the relative, on the material and changing world. The relative world is infinite, right? There are infinite possibilities, infinite places to visit, infinite things to buy. And if we want to have all of it, we can't. Even the people who have the most power in the world still can't have all of it and everything in the world, right? And so when you're looking for it, there's never going to come any point when you have all of it and everything, when you feel it's enough. Because think about it, even the things that we wanted for a very long period of time, once you get it, it's no longer so exciting. Maybe you bought the car of your dreams and 2-3 weeks, maybe a month, you've been very excited and happy every day. But then it just becomes a usual thing, a usual part of your life, and it no longer excites you so much. And you start to want something else and something more. And again, there is a reason why you're not happy and fulfilled right now, because there is something in the future that you want that will make you happy. But the truth is that that point is never going to come to reality where we have everything that we want and we don't want anything anymore. And that's why we end up disappointed because you have a car, you have a family, you have that new dress, you've got all of it at some point in your life, and you find yourself still not happy and not fulfilled. There is again that feeling of longing for something more and something different than what you have right now. And because of that, we can think that life is unfair. I work hard, I try my best, I do my best, I get all of the things that I wanted to get, but still here I am, not fulfilled and not happy. Why is it so? The part of life is to never let you to settle with anything less than infinite. And we can think about it in two ways. Either that it's a curse and it's not fair, that it doesn't let us to settle with anything and be happy finally, or we can think about it as a blessing. Because it is a blessing that it doesn't let us to settle in something that is less than our fullest potential, our truest potential, the infinity that is our true self. For example, for all the other animals, it's not like that. When they have their animal needs met, they have food, they reproduce, and they sleep, and they have safe environment, that's enough for them to just be fulfilled and happy and just be. And the blessing for human beings is that life never lets you to settle with that bare minimum, just the survival, because it wants you to grow and grow until you find that you are not simply this body and you're not limited in this little entity that you call yourself, that you think is yourself, and you are actually everything in the universe, and you are not any less than infinity itself. That can be a bit hard to grasp, especially when you hear it for the first time. But that's the beauty of life. You grow and grow and grow until you realize that that is who you truly are. And that's such a beautiful thing because you don't have to settle in any small pleasures, any small thing that you might have thought that is the purpose of your whole life. You will never be fulfilled on the outer value. It can sound sad and unfair, but I find it to be the blessing of human beings. Does that mean that we are never going to be fulfilled? No, absolutely not. The beautiful thing is that we can change the direction in which we're looking for that infinity. So there is the infinity of the relative world, right? Infinity of this cosmos, of this universe that we know, the planets, all the things on this planet, all the places and material things on this planet, which is infinite for us. And looking in that direction, there is always going to be lack because there's always going to be something more that we want to get. Or we can change the direction within. There is an infinity within each and every one of us. And looking within means realizing our true self and realizing our true self as the universe, as the whole universe, as everything, and not separate from anything. Going within is where the infinity is. What we call inside, what we get from the inside, is the experience of the unified field or pure consciousness. The yogis, realized masters, have been saying this for thousands of years, but now physics have actually scientifically proved and found that there is a field where everything is unified and nothing is outside of that field. For example, in Transcendental Meditation, when I learned it, the way my teacher explained it and the way all the teachers of Transcendental Meditation explain it is that there is an ocean, which is our mind, and on the surface of that ocean there are waves and they move constantly, and it can be agitated and it can be not peaceful, just like our thoughts in our mind Constantly there is some thoughts, our mind is looking for something, it's very agitated, stressed, and not peaceful. And the way they explain it is when you go deep within that ocean, the deeper you go, the more stillness and silence you find. No matter how agitated on the surface the waves are and the ocean is, when you go deep within the ocean, there's always stillness, there's always silence. And the deeper you go, the more silence and the more stillness you find. And when you reach that point, the bottom of the ocean, that's where the least agitation is and the most silence and most stillness is. And beyond even that, beyond the bottom of the ocean, is what the physics call the unified field. So in that unified field, every single one of us, every single thing in this universe is unified and is one and the same. We're not separate from anything in the universe, and we are everything in the universe. And from that unified field emerges everything in the universe, everything that we see, including our own bodies. And the unified field is the infinity we're talking about, because it is infinite, it is unbounded, and it is the consciousness itself. It is also called pure consciousness. So in physics, it's called the unified field, and in yoga, it's called pure consciousness, and it's the same thing, and it is unbounded and infinite, and it is the true nature of everything in the universe. It is myself, it is yourself, and it is everybody's self. So in the relative world, in the material world, we are separate, right? This is me, this is in this body, I call it myself, and there is another person, and we are different, we're not the same, and there is that separation in the relative world. And of course, we understand that and we accept that that is part of our reality, but it is also very important for us to know our true self, be connected to that true self, and know that in reality, in our essence, we are not separate, and we are same with everybody and everything else. As we talked earlier, the nature of the mind is already to search for more and more. It's already very naturally longing for more and more experience, more knowledge, more love, more this, more that. And when you have the correct way of guiding it to the right direction, it finds that infinity very naturally, because it is its utmost nature, the truest nature, and it finds it very easily, automatically, naturally. We just need to give it the right direction, and it happens on its own. It's not something that we need to go somewhere else to find it, because that infinity is already our true self, and it is already within us. There are so many different ways of accessing it, but the easiest way of doing it, for me, what I have found was transcendental meditation, because it helped me to really directly access that field, that infinity, in the most easy, automatic, and natural way. And I have tried many other ways that have been very helpful, but none of them actually gave me that experience of that infinity and of that feeling of fulfillment. Because fulfillment is found when we are our truest self, where we have found that infinity. Because again, the nature, the life wants us to experience that infinity, and everything, it can be found in that unified field, in that pure consciousness. Just because of that, because that is already the nature of the mind and our true nature, that's why in TM, in Transcendental Meditation, we don't concentrate or contemplate about anything. There is a very simple technique that we use, and it just automatically goes in that direction of more happiness and of more fulfillment, because it is already its true nature. And through concentration and contemplation, we don't get that experience necessarily, because in that case, we use intellect to think about something or to concentrate on something and trying to keep our concentration on something. But in TM, we just let the mind to go in its natural direction, which is the direction of finding more and more and more. Everybody's path is different and everybody finds it in different ways. But this is what worked for me, and this is what I think can work for everybody and will be helpful for everybody to at least give it a try. Thank you very much for joining me today. I was very happy to have this opportunity of sharing it with you. I will be very happy to hear what you think about it, to share your experiences and maybe share your thoughts on fulfillment, where you find it, what do you think about it, and I'm very interested to hear that. So thank you so much again for joining me. I hope to see you soon again. Namaste.